Hey everyone, I'm doing my very first digital Plan With Me video. I'm really excited about it because I watch Plan With Me videos for both paper and digital planners on YouTube pretty frequently because I just love planning and looking at planners. So anyway, I decided to make my own video. This is my digital planner. This is one that I actually designed and have available in my Etsy shop, and I will leave the link in the video description. And also I'll be releasing this soon in a mint version and a black and white version. I've already got the mint version almost all the way done, but I haven't done much with the black and white version yet. So the mint one will be out before the black and white one, but I don't have an official date yet. So anyway, this is what my July section looks like. This is my first month having all of my things in one planner. This isn't my first month digital planning, but before this I would use sheets that I had created originally as printables, and I would fill those out in Procreate or in GoodNotes, and I just kind of had them organized in like a little notebook that came with, I actually used Note Shelf 2 and then switched to GoodNotes. So I used to use Note Shelf 2 to do all that. So this has been my first month in GoodNotes with an actual planner that holds everything. So I'm just gonna flip through it so you guys can see what my July looks like. And after I do this, I'm gonna set up the last 2 days in July, and then I'm gonna set up my monthly calendar. And I'm gonna do all that in Procreate. So hopefully you guys will see some cool tricks that you can do in Procreate for digital planning. So here is my July section, and if you have this planner, you'll know that these planners come with these quotes every month. It's a different quote every month. It's just kind of all about female empowerment. I love quotes, so I like to incorporate them in my planner, but this can easily be covered if quotes aren't, your thing. If you don't want quotes in your planner, you can easily cover this page. But each section comes with a quote and then July or whatever month it is on the section. And this is my monthly calendar. So what I did with this page is I converted the notes section into a mom life section and just put some mom quotes that I like. And we didn't have a lot going on in July. It's just the middle of summer. We've had my stepson a lot this summer, and then I've got a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old. So I took all of the physical products temporarily down from my Etsy shop and just focused on spending time with my kids. And I focused on my blog a little bit, and I focused on the digital side of things this month. And we didn't really have a lot of appointments or anything this month, so I didn't really have a lot to fill in for the month of July. So I really just decorated it and then filled in a couple of important dates that I had to get done this month. And so here is my first week of July. I actually just released this planner on July 8th, and I used it for about a week before I released it. So I filled in that entire week. Like I've said in some of my other videos, my weekly spreads, I don't really use these to plan in advance. I use these kind of like a hybrid of planning and kind of like a scrapbook too. So now that I've switched to digital, I can incorporate pictures of my kids and stuff like that from things that happened that day. When I was doing paper planning, I did that exact same thing, except I didn't put pictures in there because I didn't have a way to. I didn't have one of those little printers that prints those tiny pictures. So I would just write about what we did that day if I didn't have anything important for that day, because I just like everything to be filled in. So that's why when you look through my planner, you'll see some stuff that is in past tense and some things that are in present tense. But yeah, so this was my first week. I didn't start on the 1st. I just went ahead and started on the 2nd, since these are a Monday through Sunday layout, and this month started on a Sunday. So this was my first week. This was my second week. And again, we didn't really have a lot going on. My daughter had a doctor's appointment that week, and here's her right before her doctor's appointment, and just a picture of me and her, a picture of me and my son. My son had a dentist appointment that week and made it in the No Cavity Club. So, that was an interesting week. And here is where I converted a daily page into a weekly page, because this was really the only week that we had a few things happening. So I forgot to come back and cross off all this stuff, but I did do all of this stuff. So I'm going to come back and cross all that off. And here is the next week in July. Again, not a lot going on. That's why I even documented that there was a tornado watch, because I had absolutely nothing else to put right there. And just here's some pictures of my kids. Here's a picture of where we visited my grandparents, and my daughter was sitting in my grandfather's lap, and there's my son taking a really good nap. There is my son and daughter. You can see my daughter wasn't too happy in that picture. And there's a cool new office chair that I got that's hot pink, my favorite color. So that was exciting. And here is last week. This is actually today. So I didn't really have a lot going on. Again, I don't know how many times I've said that in this video, but you know, I just documented a lot of what happened. I actually put this little meme in one of my days. I love The Office. I love Michael Scott. So I just thought this was really funny because I can relate to this so much. I'm the biggest procrastinator of all time. So I put that in there. That's one of the things that I love about digital planning. I can put stuff like that in my planner now. And, you know, I just wrote about some blog posts that I posted that week. And that's it. I'm about to include the last 2 days of July right here and then convert the rest of this page into something else. I'm not sure what yet. So I'm going to start working on that. And then I'm going to go to my August calendar and set that up. So right now, just really quickly, I'm going to take a screenshot of this July page and then bring it into Procreate to decorate it. Okay, so I've got this pulled into Procreate. I'm going to completely get rid of the July header and most of these boxes, actually, since I'm only going to need Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to get rid of the notes section. The notes section, that's just the thing that I always try to include because I know that a lot of people like it, but I never use it, so I always get rid of it. But it's there, you know, if I need it. Instead of just coloring over that, I'm just going to use my blanks that come with this planner. Oh, I hit gallery. So I'm going to import those really quickly. Okay, so now that I've got all of that covered, I'm going to just merge these layers. Let's see. And now I'm going to merge it to the page because I know I want it to stay like this. You can see a little bit here. You know, there's kind of a area where you can see where that other box was starting. I don't even know if there's a really good way to get rid of that. There we go. Let's do it to the bottom. Okay, so not perfect, but good enough. I keep hitting gallery for some reason. Sorry, y'all. So now I'm going to just put a July right here and then put the numbers above Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to write July, and then for the numbers, I'm going to use some stickers that are available in my Etsy shop, which I'll link to in the video description. And I'm just going to use those for the 30 and 31 that I need. Okay, so now I've got these lined up and I'm going to group them together. And then I'm going to shrink them down a little bit because they're a little big. Okay, so the 30 is already pretty much centered with this box. This is a trick that I've shown in another video, how I like to center my numbers. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll link to them in the video description. But basically what I do is I take all my numbers at one time and then size them together. And then before I place them above the day, I line them up on the box that they're gonna eventually go above. But I try to keep them on the line, and I try to get them, I eyeball it, but I try to get them centered. And then I select both numbers and bring those numbers up. So they're, you know, maybe not perfectly centered and lined up, but they are closer than if I were to just do it on my own. I'm going to move those up a little bit more. And I think I actually want to change the color of those numbers. So if you haven't ever changed the color of anything in Procreate, there's a few different ways that you can do it. I've shown previously how you could just drag this dot and recolor, but I want to show you another way that you could do it. first I'm going to merge these together for this to work. Since they're placed where I want them to be placed, I don't have to worry about, you know, having them separate again. So now let's say I want to make these. I'm going to use my Tombow colors, which, by the way, I have all these color palettes available on my website for free. So I will link to my website, and if you're a subscriber, you can download these color palettes for Procreate in my freebie library. And I've got the Tombow colors, I've got Crayola colors, I've got Sharpie colors, I've got Winsor and Newton colors. For right now, I'm about to work on the Prismacolor colored pencil set for a color palette. So anyway, I'm going to use a pink from Tombow. And now I'm just going to create a new layer, and I'm going to pick one of my favorite brushes to give it kind of a watercolor effect. Let's see. I'm going to do this one. And now I'm just going to scribble over the numbers until they are completely covered. I don't think these are really going to turn out with too much of a watercolor effect, but it's fine. But anyway, now I'm going to turn them to pink. So to do that, I'm going to click back on the numbers and then click on select. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on invert selection. And then I'm going to go back to the pink layer, the pink scribbles, and click on clear. And now the numbers are pink, and so I can delete the original layer, and now all that's left behind is just the pink numbers. So that's a cool way to add color or texture. If you've got some texture brushes that you like, that's just a different way to do it other than overlaying it with an image. Okay, so now I'm gonna write July just above this section. I'm going to use these brushes that I just purchased from the Lettering Lodge. I believe that's the name of it. I hope I'm getting that right. I will correct myself in this video if I got it wrong. But they were $4 on Creative Market, and you get, like, let me see how many brushes. You get 6 brushes with it, and it's just a really good set. I really like it. So anyway, I'm going to use these to write in black, and I will link to these brushes as well. That looks a little bit funky, but you know, it's fine for me. And now I'm going to write in pink in these Tombow colors. I'm going to write 2018. Let me find my pink. Okay. And I'm doing it on a new layer. I like to have so many layers when I'm doing stuff like this. Okay, so I'm gonna center that. And now I've got like all this space down here that I'm gonna eventually fill in. I don't even really know what we're doing on Monday or Tuesday, so I'm not going to fill those in yet. I don't really have a game plan, but I'm probably going to do some things with my Silhouette Alta on Monday, so I just got to figure out what I need to do and fill that in later. So this is my page so far for July, and this is how I convert a lot of my pages. So now I'm going to set up my August calendar. So I'm going to go back to GoodNotes. And I'm going to go to August. Oh, gotta. And I'm going to screenshot this page. Okay, so I had to take a little break after I screenshotted my August calendar. But now I'm back and I'm going to get that filled in for the month. So I'm going to import my screenshot that I took earlier. And I know for sure I want to cover the notes section because I don't really use that section. So I'm going to insert one of my blanks and get that covered. Okay, so now that's covered, so I'm going to merge those layers together. And now I'm going to insert my numbers. I know just because I worked on that July page a little bit earlier that this month starts on a Wednesday. So I'm going to pull in some stickers. These stickers that I'm about to pull in will be available in my Etsy shop after July 31st. So if you're watching this video and it's after July 31st, 2018, the link to purchase these stickers will be in the video description. But for right now, I just haven't made the images yet that I need to make to get them listed on Etsy. So I have them all in my Dropbox, but they're not quite available yet. They will be in 2 days. Okay, so I've got all of my numbers inserted now. They're each on individual layers because I inserted the sticker sheets, did a little freehand crop, and then selected duplicate contents over and over again. If you're not 100% sure how to do that, I don't have a short tutorial on it, but I do have a video that's all about how to do the basics in GoodNotes and Procreate, which I'll link to in the video description, and there are timestamps in that video description, and you can skip around and learn how to do that. So anyway, here are all my numbers, and I want to overlay these with a gold foil texture, but first I'm going to resize them and place them. So I want to resize all of them together without merging them yet. So I'm going to group all of the layers, and now I'm going to click on this arrow, and I know they need to be way smaller. I'm going to just line up, let's say this 28 in the box, and that's a pretty good size. So now they're all sized how I want them for the boxes. So now I'm just going to place them in the boxes in the top right corner, and I'm going to do it the same way that I did those other two numbers in the July section. I'm going to line them up. This time, instead of the center, I'm going to put them to the side and then move them all up together. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I've got all of my numbers placed, and I'm pretty happy with the placement. I could have done a few things probably a little bit better, and some of them are close to the edge, some aren't, but you know, it's just my personal calendar, so you know, I'm happy with it. Now I want all of my numbers to be gold. So I previously grouped all of the numbers that go in a line. So now I'm going to make all of these one big group. And now I'm going to just flatten the image, and now it's all on one layer, and now it's more like an image or like I've written it rather than a group. So I'm gonna insert a gold foil texture. So now that that's done, I'm gonna just fill in some of my dates. I'm gonna do that here in just a minute. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna just fill in some of these squares with some pretty colors and fill in some of the dates that I know about. We don't have a lot going on in August, so there's not that many dates to fill in. I'm gonna put in some of my plans for my blog, and I'm going to fill in some blank space. So first I'm going to fill in some of these squares with some colors, the ones that don't have numbers. So I'm going to use I'm going to go to the Crayola crayon color palettes and fill it in with some pinks, because again, that's my favorite color. So I'm going to use this color palette. Okay, so they're all pink, but I just kind of randomized it. And now I'll probably put some stickers on top of those in a minute as soon as I get some sort of idea. I'm sorry about the uneven camera. I'm not great with this stand. So now I need to put a year right here. I think I'm just going to write the year. So I'm going to create a new layer for that. Okay, so I've got that done. And now let's see, on Thursday I have a doctor's appointment, so I'm going to draw a box to make it kind of look like a sticky note and write my doctor's appointment in. Okay, so on the 3rd, we are going to go to Huntsville. So I'm going to create another box in a very light shade of pink for that day. Okay, and now I'm going to write Huntsville. I'm going to change my brush this time. Okay, so there is that. Now I've started a blog series called Treat Yourself Tuesdays, where I do just some kind of way for you to treat yourself. The first and only blog post that I have on it so far featured donuts, so it's not always going to be snacks, though. It might be just some cool things that I find online, but each week it'll also have some kind of freebie, whether it's stickers or an SVG or both, or printable or something like that. So it'll all just be relative to whatever the theme is. So I'm going to just fill in all my Tuesdays with that. Okay, so I've got those filled in. I actually think really quickly I'm going to size those down and bring them up a little bit, and then come back later and put in, when it's already in GoodNotes, and put in the theme that I have decided for that week. So let me do that. All right, and now let's see, what else do we have going on? Oh, on Wednesday, I've got a piece of glass that's going to be delivered for my table. It's going to be my desk. I'm really excited about it. My dad built me a while ago this 4-foot by 8-foot table, and I used it to paint on for a while, but now the table has been painted, and then I gold leafed the top of it, and I'm getting a piece of glass put on top of it so I can use it as a desk. So that is going to be a huge day for me. So I am going to mark that on my calendar for sure. Okay, and then the very next day, my stepson starts back to school. So for that, I am going to use some stickers from my website. I've got a back to school sticker that'll be perfect for that. So I'm going to pull up my website really quick. I believe I already have it pulled up. Here is the planner sticker section of my website. And to download these, this is the one with the back to school sticker. I'm just going to click on it, click on the link. And then I'm going to open it in iZip Pro, which I think I've already unzipped these actually, so this is probably a duplicate, but we'll just go with it. So anyway, I want to insert the PNG stickers since those have the transparent background, so I've got those selected. I'm going to click on Open In, and I'm going to click on Copy to Procreate. And now it inserted it into its own document. It looks like there's nothing there, but there they are. It's because they're on a transparent background. So I'm just going to select this back to school sticker. I'm going to hide the background, and I'm going to do what I was doing with the numbers. Okay, so now that that is there and it's on its own layer, I'm just going to swipe down with 3 fingers. That didn't work. Swipe down with 3 fingers. For some reason, it's not picking it up. Okay, and I'm going to select copy, and then I'm going to go back to my calendar, and I'm going to create a new layer. Let me merge these really quick. Okay, I've created a new layer, and now I'm going to swipe down again with 3 fingers and click on paste. And there's my sticker, and I'm just going to size it to fit that box. And let me think. You know, I think that's actually all we have planned for August. So now I'm just going to decorate this with some stickers. I'm going to fill in this area with something. I haven't decided what yet, but I hear my daughter getting upset, so I'm going to get her, and then later on I'm just going to do a screen recording, and you guys can watch. I'll speed it up so you can see what all I end up doing with this page and with the rest of my July page. So I had a chance to work on my August calendar later that night, and what I'm doing right now is I'm bringing in a flower sticker that comes with this planner, and I wanted to change it to a watercolor pink. So I selected a watercolor brush and then went over the whole sticker in pink and changed it to pink. And now I'm sizing that down and moving that to the side. And now I'm bringing in some stickers that I used earlier in this video that are available in my Etsy shop. And these are the priority stickers. So I selected a font that I liked and then placed it underneath the flower. And I decided to change that sticker to a darker pink, so that's what I'm doing now. And now I'm drawing some lines so I can list my top 5 priorities for the month of August. And I'm just writing those in. And right here I put beach because we're going to the beach this month. Possibly, we're not sure yet, but that's kind of a priority. So anyway, I'm placing that stuff, and now I decided I wanted to use some digital paper as a sticker to fill in that empty space. So I will link to where I purchased these in the video description. They're really pretty papers. And now I'm writing a quote to place on that paper. I'm writing the quote, "Stay golden," because I've always liked that quote and I wanted to cover it with a gold texture that I've had. This gold texture that I'm about to bring in right here, I've had it for a while. I just found it on Google a long time ago. So that's where that's from. Now I'm bringing my calendar back, and I wanted to fill in the header with something, and I didn't really like this pattern that I came up with, so I then tried some more digital paper and I didn't like that. So then I decided to bring in a hello sticker that I created a while ago. And now I'm trying to fill in the other empty space to the other side of August, and I brought in a marble texture from Creative Market into Procreate. And now I'm pulling a donut sticker that's available on my website, and I'm just filling in all of the boxes that are filled in with pink. And I decided to just do kind of a donut pattern to fill in some of the blank boxes, and I alternated those between black and white. So right now I'm just changing the color of the second donut to white. And once I finish that, I duplicate the black donuts and then place those in the alternating boxes and create this alternating donut pattern. So then I decided to write the word summer and put it in the washi tape. I wasn't 100% happy with it. I just couldn't get it right, but it was all right. It was good enough. So I saved it and imported it into GoodNotes, and then came back to my July page and decided I wanted to fill it with a photo collage of our memories of July. So I'm building the collage in an app called Photo Quilt, and now I'm placing it into Procreate, and I'm writing the header that says July Memories. And now I'm filling that in pink, and I filled in my boxes, and I thought I was going to get to work on the Silhouette Alta on Monday, but I didn't get to, so I'm going to edit that in just a little bit. And then I brought in some clip art from Creative Market and placed it underneath the boxes. So on Monday, I didn't get a chance to work with my Silhouette Alta, so I deleted that and filled in what we did that day. One of the things that I did was I edited this video, and so I put that into my planner, and then I drew a little divider underneath it. And then I put that my stepson and I got sandwiches from a place called Rivertown. They have the best sandwiches, so of course I had to put that in my planner. And we got those to go. And then I imported a picture that my husband took of the kids that day, and I put that in my planner. And I sized that down and placed it, and grouped some layers together, and then I drew some hearts underneath. So on Tuesday, I filled in what I plan on doing today. I'm going to make keychains for Maddox and Sunny. So I'm filling that in now. And it took me a minute to write it because my husband was making me laugh as I was trying to write it. So that's why this is taking forever to fill in. And so I put that down, and then I also just wrote a little reminder for myself to drink more water because I'm terrible at drinking enough water, and I just need to remember that it's important for me to drink more than 16 ounces of water a day. So I've got all that filled in, and now I'm just putting it into GoodNotes. And that's it for my August Plan With Me video. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun making this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more digital planning tutorials and Plan With Me videos. And if you check out my website, naptimealt.com, I've got tons of free SVG files and planner files available for you to download. Thanks!